It's a novelization of my experiences on the psychic frontier with Quentin Tarantino, right? Willow is a girl in my mind. And I don't know. Is it his daughter's name? I don't know. They haven't released her name. I would suspect it's not. Willow is a girl that I met at Fish at the Gorge. No, not at the Gorge. At Alpine Valley in 2019. Really nice girl that I got along with. And so that's why I thought that I was naming her, but, I don't know. There is no Willow. There is no, right? His daughter is a little girl, right? She's a little girl, right? And so when I tell you that he led me to believe, right? Sick, depraved things, right? As though, right, it's his movie. And so, right, on that note, right, I suspect that it is still the movie critic, right? But if it's not, right, if it's a different movie, right, it's the story of the two of us, right? And he's going to humiliate me, and he's going to use my scene, right? Because this is what he does, right? That's what he did to Brad Pitt, right? Brad Pitt won his Oscar for beating up his wife on an airplane and getting away with it, right? Cliff Booth killed his wife on a boat and got away with it, right? It's the same story. It's not a similar story, right? This is what writers do, right? And the Oscar goes to, right? So what I'll say is I enjoyed those pages a lot. The writing is really good, actually, even though it's of a hindsight, right? That's only the second draft, really. That's only me typing the handwritten, right? But it is. It's really good. It was all written in real time, right? That Willow. I don't know, right? I don't know if it's all him, right? Hardy har, getting a good chuckle. I suspect there's a couple more people involved, right? But I don't know, right? That girl that he posted a picture with at Con Badass Cinema, I think she's the one. Right? I think she was the one that was torturing me, right? Right? I could say awful things. Hilarious things about Quentin Tarantino that everyone knows, right? I'm not going to do that, right? Because I'm not a degenerate, right? My point is that, right, it's a two-way street, right? He didn't just crawl into my mind. I'm all the way in his mind too, right? And so, right, the things that he was poisoning my mind with, right, are actually, right, his psychological complexes, his neurosis, right? Didn't have to be this. Didn't have to be this at all. He could have just moved on with his life, right? He could have sent me a single letter, right? But rather than do that, right? Again, right? He canceled the film, right? The day after I posted my 4,500 word review of Gone with the Wind directly to his Twitter. Right? That's what happened, right? Quentin Tarantino drops The Movie Critic as his 10th and final film, right? And so I wrote him a letter immediately, refused at the door. I wrote him a week before Tribeca, the beginning of the week of Tribeca, right? Refused at the door, right? Right? So, right? These are the games he plays, right? I've spent so much time, right? Again, like everything that I'm reading, right? That's like that was all in an effort for me to show my remorse, right? Right? But of course, right? No second chances, right? Hollywood bullshit, right? Evil, psychic, occult bullshit, right? He's not rooted in love, right? He's not rooted in compassion. He doesn't understand the game that he's playing at. Right? And if I put that same evil on him, right? He'd murder me. That's what he would do. 100% because it's sick and evil, right? And so he's just a weird, evil, sad guy. Devoid of love. Right? He's got some real demons psychologically, for sure. To have let it drag on this long, right? To continue to, right, hold court in my mind, right? And there's nothing I can do about it, right? All I can do is talk about it, right? Or be evil with him, right? And so I'm going live during his career retrospective, right, at the Burbank Film Festival, and we're going to do our own retrospective, right? And we'll talk about the real legacy of those films, right? Right? So, I suppose I'll stop. Right? Life is not an accident, right? Everything emerges from an abstract intellectual divine principle, right? So perfect in its expression that it cannot be expressed in the material world. It resides forever as an idea, right? Right? Twofold, manifold, right? The first is the conscious field, right? Unilaterally distributed within all space, diffused within an infinite complex of nested polyhedra, which is the hologram of quantum probability of electric waveform potential. And so the conscious field exerts pressure upon this subatomic subspatial geometric lattice and this specific dihedral, the degree of love, right, with which the conscious pressure imposes its divinity upon the hologram, right, reflects what it manifests in the material world, right? Right? So as it exerts pressure, right, it transmutes into the vector equilibrium, which collapses through the platonic solids. As it continues to collapse, its friction grating against itself, engendering electric resistance until it becomes so dense that it can no longer remain inert space and erupts into incandescence as matter. First as photons of light and chemical elements, right? Then inevitably complex cellular structure, complex life, and man, right? Man is the end of evolution because we're the only thing that can offer a sincere reflection back onto our divine origin. Hence, the psychological reflex and necessity of religion. So, see what's good in your life, right? Pray for me, pray for Quentin, pray to bring this to an amicable resolution. Like, comment, subscribe, share, uplift your soul to God.